And we are live. How is everybody doing? My name is Devon Thomas, and welcome to Neptune Design, the channel where we basically help you become a Google Ads pro without needing to spend a whole bunch of money on a university degree. We're going to teach you every single thing that you need to know right now. Now, what I want to do is I first want to make sure that there's no background noise. Sorry, my house is very noisy today. We've had a very busy day. And the second thing I want to do is I also want to thank our sponsors. Now, if you just give me a second over here. Yeah. So the first sponsor I'd like to thank is Profitable PPC. For those of you who don't know, Profitable PPC is my Google Ads course. And oh man, I could tell you so much about this course, but let me just say this. If you're an entrepreneur and you're losing money on your ads right now and you're trying to figure out Google Ads and it's just not clicking, then you definitely need to sign up for my Google Ads course, because I'm going to show you not only how to run your ads, but I'm also going to show you how to set them up properly. And I'm going to show you how to build a landing page so that you get more leads more often. And the best thing about this course is it's not just gone over in like this little 2-hour interval. No, I literally let you look over my shoulder as I build the landing page from scratch. I literally let you look over my shoulder as I set up a campaign from scratch. And I do this with YouTube ads, search ads. I do this with display ads, retargeting ads, and you also look over my shoulder as I take a campaign from losing money to actually making money in Google Ads, which is super cool. So for any of you who are interested in that, I'm going to put the link in the chat. That's Profitable PPC. And last but not least, if you're a pro and you've been building Google Ads for the longest time and you just want to basically find a system where you can get landing pages up really quickly, you definitely need to check out Lead Pages. Now, the absolute best thing about Lead Pages is Lead Pages is the software that basically gives you access to so many templates. All you need to go do is find the template, switch it out, and you're basically, I don't know what's up with me today. Let me get a glass of water. And you're basically going to be able to take those templates and apply it to your business and get those leads that you need. For those of you who don't know, it is extremely important to have a landing page and not send your Google Ads traffic to your website. This is one of the biggest problems. And since we're talking about conversion rate optimization, let's talk a little bit about landing pages. I know I hop on this subject every single week, but I think it's something that a lot of people say they understand, but they don't really understand, right? When you have a landing page, your traffic is focused, and anyone who comes to that page knows exactly what is expected of them. When you have a website, your website visitors could get into analysis paralysis, and it really makes a difference. So guys, try and have a landing page as much as possible, right? Now, for those of you, let me just get rid of this banner over here. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Devon Thomas, and I started off 7 years ago with a $1 per day budget with Google Ads. And I was a business owner. I was trying to get more leads for my web design business. And I found it very difficult because I tried Facebook ads, I tried Twitter ads, I tried Reddit ads, I tried classified ads in the newspaper, I tried going door to door, and it was very hard for me to get leads. And eventually I stumbled across this beautiful thing called Google Ads, and I just had a $1 per day budget. And even with a $1 per day budget, I was able to get leads for my business and grow my business. So I am not speaking about Google Ads from an agency point of view. I'm not going to tell you to go out there and spend $10,000 per month. I'm speaking about Google Ads from somebody, or you're hearing about Google Ads from somebody who had to start from the bottom and work their way up from $1 a day to $5 a day, back down to $1 per day, all the way up to $15 a day, $20 per day. I'm going to talk about what works and what really you need to do to get your ads converting. Now, first, I see there's a couple of people in the chat. MCX says, hi. Hi, my friend. I hope you are well. All the way from Greece. I hope you're well, and thank you very much for sharing that in the community today. That was pretty funny. How this is funny, right? For those of you who don't know and you're wondering what private community is this, I'll explain later. But anyway, MCX went and he basically shared that Google said he had 25 profile views, and he had somehow from 25 profile views 40 people actually asked directions to his business. So 25 people, 40 people asked for directions to his business. I don't know how that, the maths is not mathing, but anyway, yeah. So that's Google with their fake stats that they send you every single month. But anyway, if you're wondering about the private community, we do have a private community where we do memes, we do discussions, we do landing page roasts. And we actually have a weekly coaching call just like this, but you get to show me your ads and I get to give you advice. So if you're interested in that, I'll drop it down below as well. What I want to know from you guys is, look, I can ramble on and I can talk about what works with conversion rates. But what I really want from you guys is I want you to let me know, number one, where you're from, right? And I also want you to ask me anything. I see Karen is here as well. Hey, Karen, how you doing? Thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate you being here. Wow, we actually got a good crew of people here. All my favorite people are on the call. All right, so what I'm going to do is I am going to just share the link for the course for those of you who don't know. And also, Karen's from the USA. Karen was on the previous call as well. If some of you are thinking that that name sounds familiar, definitely, yeah. So if you guys have any questions about Google Ads, shoot. I am here. I am ready. I am waiting. This is going to be fun. All right. So what I'm going to do is I am just going to take this, share this down there. That's the link to the course. And I am also going to share the link for the community. I don't know if I have a link for lead pages, but I know at the bottom of this video, there's going to be a link for lead pages. And by the way, just full disclosure, that's an affiliate link. And I am also going to link the community here as well. All right, cool. So anyway, while we're waiting for those questions to stream in, let's just talk a little bit about what a lot of entrepreneurs get wrong with Google Ads and just setting up their ads in general. Now, a big mistake that a lot of entrepreneurs make is they set up their Google Ads, they let them run, and they just pray that they're going to work out for them. That is completely not the way that you want to do it. What you want to do is you want to make sure that you're actually following an optimization plan. Okay. Now you might ask me, Devon, hey, what is the optimization plan? What does that even look like? Okay, so let me just see if I can pull one up for you. I think I got an old one lying around here somewhere. Let's just see. And I also made an optimization checklist as well. Man, you'd think that I'd have everything prepared, but anyway. So I'll get back to the subject and the topic of optimization plan. So MCX says he has a question. Do display ads work for your students? Automated, dynamic, or static, custom sizes, pre-made as images. All right, cool. So display ads. Let's talk about display ads. You know what display ads are? Those little banner ads that pop up on the side of your screen that you think no one clicks on. Display ads can actually work, but you have to use display ads as retargeting ads. Most of the time, if you don't use display ads as targeting ads, you might get cheap clicks. So you might get clicks as cheap as 3 cents a click, 4 cents a click, but you're not really going to be able to drive any predictable business with display ads. Where display ads absolutely come into their own is with retargeting, because if you do a retargeting display ad, you can get cost per conversions as low as, I think I've seen it as low as $1, $1 for a lead, $1 for a booking, $1 for a sale. That's what you want to use display ads as. So to answer your question in one sentence, if you are going to use display ads to attract new clients, I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. If you're going to use it as a retargeting ad where somebody comes onto your website, they haven't made their mind up yet. They're still thinking, should I book that trip? Should I sign that plumber? I don't know. Should I sign my kid up for this music school? I don't know. When they leave, you can have the display ads chase them around. All right. Now, you also asked the awesome question about automated, dynamic, or static, right? Custom sizes. I've actually got an interesting take on this. I've got a very interesting take on this. If you design your display ads, if you design every single size, which I did for the past, man, I did that for my first 2 years running Google Ads, your cost per click is going to be lower. Weirdly enough, your cost per click is going to be lower because if you design for a size and Google doesn't have an ad that looks good in that size and your ad looks really good at that size, what's going to happen is you're actually going to get a higher click-through rate and you're going to get a cheaper cost per conversion because your ad is the only ad that looks good in that slot. A lot of these dynamic ads, when you actually see them and you see how Google squishes your logo and they squish your wording together and they kind of have a photo of your face, but it's kind of half chopped off so you look like this, it ain't good. And the customers, the people who are on the website looking at that banner ad is just going to say, wow, that's a poorly designed ad. So if you are going with a simple design, in other words, with me, I have a very simple design. I literally have me on a chair and it says free workshop on the side, free ads workshop, free lead generation workshop. Use dynamic. It's not worth the extra horsepower, brain power trying to figure out how am I going to design this properly. But if you're doing it and you're doing this like a long-term campaign that you want to run, then definitely you want to start thinking about custom pre-made sizes, because if you make it good, make it look good for each size, your cost per click will drop. I don't know. It's just something weird that I noticed. I was like, I thought it was just me. And then I did it with another campaign for another client. Same thing happened. Did it with another campaign for another client. Same thing happened as well. So yeah, that is my final answer. Is there anyone else who wants to ask me a question? Feel more than welcome. Don't feel like you're a beginner and you're gonna ask me a dumb question. I love dumb questions because sometimes a dumb question is a super smart question. So don't think that your question is dumb. Sometimes you're just learning this stuff and you're not gonna know if you don't know. If you don't know what ROAS is, ask. If you don't know what Manual CPC is, ask. It doesn't hurt you to ask. And besides, no one can see you. You're not going to get embarrassed. Nobody knows who you are. Nobody knows who MCX is from Greece. Nobody knows. So make sure that you ask. All right. So, as I was saying, whenever you have a Google Ads campaign, right? You want to make sure that you're optimizing your ads. So you don't just want to start off and you don't just want to make sure, you don't just want to be running ads for the sake of running ads. You actually want to look at the data every single day and you want to make sure that you're optimizing on that data. So what I'm going to do is, this is taking too long, but what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take you through a screen share of my Google Ads campaign, and we are going to just look at a couple of things that you can look at, a couple of reports that you can look at to optimize your campaign. I think that's the best way to learn this. So unless you guys have a better plan, tell me in the chat, are you down with that? Do you want to see the screens and do you want to see how I would optimize my ads? I think that's the best way that we're going to do this. All right. So just let me know. All right. So if I get a yes, if I get 2 yeses in the chat, then we'll do the optimization screen share. Cool. All right. So Karen, we got a yes. This is good. Fantastic. All right. Andreas, yes, you want to see? Kareem, hi Devon, do you still offer personal coaching? Yes, I do. And what I'll do is I'll put a link here, Kareem. Kareem, by the way, you're interrupting a very important vote. So Kareem, I want you to write yes in the chat. Don't worry what you're voting for, because now I want to share my screen. All right, cool. So I'm going to put the link for one-on-one Google Ads coaching there. There you go. If you have any questions, let me know as well. All right, cool. All right. Okay, cool. Guys, so Kareem says, yes, there we go. Good job, Kareem. All right, so before we go into the screen share over here, I gotta build it up. I gotta make you guys like go, oh man, why isn't he sharing it yet? You should be sharing it. Anyway, um, what we got is we got a question here from Light Worker Path. Beautiful logo, by the way. I work with clients setting up Google Ads accounts and running simple campaigns, but over the last year, more and more accounts are getting suspended for odd things. Have you seen this trend? Yes, I have. We had some accounts being suspended for something as crazy as the company's name would be, I don't know, Joe's Plumber, and maybe they don't put Joe's Plumber LLC, they just put Joe's Plumber, and then they get suspended. We've also had cases where people take domains where they're running ads to a single domain and they just want to send it to a subdomain. So, for example, if you're hamburger.com, they want to send it to, I don't know, um, ham.hamburger.com. We've also seen those get suspended. So it is fairly common. And to tell you the truth, even years ago, the same thing was kind of happening, but it's happening on a bigger scale. Now, I'll tell you why that is. There is a new trick from hackers that they use software names and they basically bid on the software names and they make themselves look like the software. So if you type in Adobe, the first result in your search results, you might think that's a Google ad from Adobe, but these hackers, they'll take the A and they'll put dot and they'll put Adobe and it'll look like Adobe. So what's happening is because so many people are trying these fraudulent ads, Google has started cracking down on almost everyone. So if they even get a whiff, if they even suspect that your ad might be suspicious or your campaign might be suspicious, they'll just suspend it. And the problem with that is it's an AI in charge of the suspension. It's not a human beings. Even when you ask Google to appeal it, it goes back to an AI system, and the AI system reads your landing page and tries to figure out if you're human or not. It's kind of stupid to let an AI try and figure out if you're human. But Google, it's not like they're short for money, but they fired about, I don't know, guys, let me know in the chat. I think they fired about 15,000 of their staff. So yeah, definitely. Google's trying to automate everything. And obviously if an AI gets it wrong, it's going to ban 100,000 accounts. It's not going to move at a human pace. And that's why it feels like almost everyone is getting their accounts like suspended. So yeah, that's the reality. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, let me see if I can get this share screen going. I kept you guys in suspense for way too long. So let's see if we can get this going. Sharing is caring. There we go. All right, cool. Light worker path, you're asking how can you avoid it? You can't. If I was you, I'd set up a new service and I would charge people for getting their accounts unsuspended. I would also make sure that you have some friends that work inside at Google that help you, but you cannot avoid this. It's not going to get better. In fact, it's going to get worse, but you need to turn it into an income stream, because if a client comes to you and they say, oh, my ads are suspended, but I really want you to run my ads, it'll take you 4 or 5 days, sometimes even 3 weeks just to get the ads account up and running before you can start charging them money. So take my advice on this. Charge to get accounts back and reinstated. And what you do there is you charge for your time and you make sure that you don't put any guarantees. Do not write there, we will get your ad account approved. Do not write there, we will help get your account unsuspended. What you do there is we offer a service where we use all of our connections and everybody we know to help get your account approved, but we do not guarantee it. As soon as you start guaranteeing it, people are going to start getting angry when you don't get it right. Make sure that you're not guaranteeing anything. You just know that you are probably a better person to look at their ad account than they are. All right. So I've got this ad account in front of me over here. And as you can see over here, I've had 143 clicks. And also, if we go over here, you can see that if we look at my conversion rate on the ad, it's at 0.56. Now, some of you might be saying that, well, Devon, 0.56 sounds pretty low, but your cost per conversion is like $4. So how are you getting this right? All right, so I'll show you exactly what I'm doing. If we go over to the campaigns over here, you'll notice that I'm running 4 campaigns at the same time. The first one over here is a YouTube ad campaign. The second one is a YouTube ad campaign. This one is a YouTube ad campaign. You'll see there's a little camera icon. And then you'll notice that here I have a search ad campaign, okay? And that's what I'm going to work on focusing and optimizing on. Now, if we look at our search ad campaign, you can see that it's spent the least money and it's also not converting at all, right? So how are we going to optimize this campaign? So first thing I want to do is I want to make sure the search campaign is selected, right? So as you can see, the search campaign is selected over here. Now, if we go to the overview, we're just going to see basic data, right? You're going to see your cost, you're going to see your clicks, you're going to see your average cost per click, you're going to see how many leads you've generated. By the way, if you don't have conversion tracking set up, you need to get conversion tracking set up. Otherwise, you will see a 0 forever. If you look at my account and I go to all time, you'll notice that this conversion block will start populating and it'll show you I've had 133 conversions. I just haven't had any in the last 8 days, right? So the first thing that we want to figure out is, Devon, if my ads are not converting and it's not showing any conversions over here, what should I look at? Or how do I know that these clicks are coming from the right type of people? So the first thing you want to do is you want to go over to the section over here where it says, you see it says when and where ad showed, and then it said search terms. What we want to do is we want to go and we want to look at our search terms report, right? Now, what the search terms report is going to do, guys, I know my screen is the size that it is. So if you want me to enlarge anything, let me know. But I think for now, we should be good. If we look at our search terms over here, firstly, what I want to do is I want to show you guys my keywords. I think that's going to give us a better idea of what we should be optimizing for. So what I'm going to do is, there we go, search keywords. My keywords are Skillshop Google, Google Skills Shop, AdWords training, Google AdWords training, Google AdWords course, Google PPC training. And as you can see, I'm trying to sell all of these. Now, if I go back and I look at my search terms, and you can do this as well with your Google ads while I'm in here as well, tell me what you're picking up in this report that's not like kosher, that doesn't match your keywords at all. So as I'm going through my keywords over here, I'm wondering why people aren't converting. So already I can see a problem over here. Google Skills Shop free. That's not a good search term. Google Skills Shop Espanol. I do not have a Spanish company, so I don't know why somebody would be searching for that. And also, somebody searching here, Curso Google Ads gratis. I'm thinking that this is free Google Ads course. So already I know that if I'm selling a Google Ads course and people are searching for free Google Ads course and Google is trying to charge me for those clicks, that's not going to work out for me. Now, what I'm going to do is I am going to click on cost, because what we want to do is we want to see what's costing us the most money and not bringing us any leads. So Google Skills Shop, that's perfectly fine. It's one of my keywords. Google Skills Shop certification, it's cost me $1. It hasn't brought me any leads. But some of you might be saying, yeah, Devon, just take this off. Take this off completely. I'm not going to take off this keyword until I have historical proof. So I need to wait till I have like 30 or 40 clicks before I can say, okay, this is a bad keyword or this is a good keyword. How to learn Google Ads for free? Not really where I want to be if I'm selling a Google Ads course. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this. I'm going to add it as a negative keyword. Now, for those of you who don't know, MCX says gratis is free indeed. Exactly. So for those of you who don't know, when you add a negative keyword, it means your search ad is not going to show up for that search term again, right? So you're kind of taking yourself off the search results when somebody searches for that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to say learn Google Ads for free. And we're going to leave that as a phrase match. Now I'm going to get into phrase match and broad match, and we're going to talk about that. But for now, I'm just doing this just to give you guys an idea. And as you can see now, I've kind of removed this I've kind of added it as a negative keyword, which means this ad is not going to show for that stupid keyword again, or that stupid search term again, and it's not going to cost me $1 of my hard-earned money, right? Now, another thing I want to tell you guys to do when you're doing this is do not look at your data for just the week. This is a very bad way of doing it. You want to look at all your available historical data. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap this out to all time. So I'm going to look at my keywords, but I'm going to look at my keywords like I've been doing this forever. In fact, this campaign has been running since July 2020. Okay. Now, when I do that, I'm going to look for my top converting keywords. Which keywords are converting the most? So if I click on conversion rate over here, you can see I have some keywords over here. Oh, funnily enough, I got a Espanol one. I got some keywords over here that are converting at 100%, which is super cool. But I've also got some keywords. If I just click on this again, I've got some keywords that never ever convert for me. They just never convert for me at all. So for example, somebody searching Google Skills Shop answers, that's not good for me, right? And what you can do is if you want to see what's costing you the most money, click on costs and navigate down. Now, some of you might be saying, Devon, how do you see all of these columns? Like, I don't see any of these columns when I go to the search term report. Well, all you need to do is click on columns. When you do that, you can click on all columns and you'll have the option to add as many columns as you want. So for example, I don't even know what new customers is, but let's give it a go. So I'm going to add new customers. And if we scroll to the side, you will see now there's a column that says new customers. And MCX over here, he's got a pro tip for us. All right, so pro tip, exclude both exact and whatever you change it to, phrase with less words, for example, so that it's shown in the excluded list and it shows the red icon next to it. Yep, that's good advice over there. I'm going to leave it up on the screen as well so you guys can see. Make sure you exclude both exact and phrase. All right, cool. So as I'm going over here, I'm looking at my cost over here and I can see, oh, we're doing pretty good. My average cost per click is $1. My cost per conversion, in other words, my cost per lead is $6. $5, $6 here. And now here's a problem. This is a problem. Do you guys see that? Does everybody see that? Notice that when people search Google Garage Digital, if you know what it is, let me know down below. I think I have an idea, but if you know what Google Garage Digital is, let me know in the chat. Notice when people search for Google Garage Digital, it's costing me $55, but I haven't gotten one damn lead from Garage Digital, right? Not a single lead. So obviously, I can use this $55 and I can spend it on any other Google ad keyword that I want. But this keyword over here, it's costing me $55 and yeah, it's not really bringing me any leads. So why would I keep it? So what we want to do here is we want to click on it once again. I'm going to show you the basic way. One day when Andreas is on the live stream with me, he's going to show me your way, but I'm going to make sure that when the phrase includes Garage Digital, I'm actually going to make this phrase match, by the way. Guys, if you want me to explain phrase match and exact match, let me know. I'm going to make sure that Garage Digital is excluded so that when people search for that, I'm not showing up. The weird thing is when people search for Digital Garage, I get conversions. So maybe I shouldn't have done that. But anyway, it's a good example. I'm just going to roll with it. And as you can see over here, now let's keep on going. And that's basically how you would use the search term report. So what I'm trying to say is you have the ads, people are clicking on your ads. You need to make sure that the right people are clicking on your ads. If the wrong people are clicking on your ads, I don't care how much you're paying for ad clicks, okay? Just because you're paying $10 for ad click does not make it a good click. A lot of people think that, oh, I'm paying $50 for a click or $20 for a click. This must be a good click. No, Google will take your budget. They will show it in front of the wrong searches because Google gets paid anyway. If they show you to a whole bunch of people who aren't interested and those people click on your ad, Google still makes money. They will still make their $100 a day. So you need to understand that this is your responsibility as a business owner. You need to go through your search terms reports every single day, and you need to make sure that those searches are in line with what your product or your service is. If you're a plumber, make sure that the searches are about plumbing. If you are an electrician, make sure that somebody's searching for electrical searches. Now, if somebody searches for something like, how do I fix my plug, or how do I do this for free, that's not your client. That's just a cheap person who's trying to find an answer to something, and you should exclude that in the searches with your negative keywords, right? So that's the first thing we want to look at, is we want to look at our search term reports, okay? And what I want to do now is I want to show you another important report, but it looks like the report I want to show you is not populated yet, which is not cool. This shouldn't be happening on the live stream, but anyway, we're going to make a plan. All right, so the second one that I want you to have a look at is, give me a second over here. If there's any course students in the chat and I have access to your Google Ads dashboard and you want to give me permission to kind of share your screen, let me know. But yeah, I will skip over what I was about to show you and I'll show you another thing that you can check out. So what I'm going to do is I am going to say share screen, right? And we've already came to the search terms report. Another cool report that you can look at is the locations report, right? So a lot of you are saying, yeah, but Devon, I'm targeting the USA or I'm targeting a certain country. Why is this report important? I already know who I'm targeting and where I'm targeting them. So this doesn't really apply to me. This doesn't really matter. I highly disagree with you on that. And I'll show you exactly why that is. If I click on USA, I can divide USA up into states, counties, cities, municipalities, airports, boroughs, city regions, neighborhoods, universities. So what I can do is I can go to my Google Ads and I can see which state is actually going to convert the most, right? Why is this important? Because let's say, for example, let's look at this. Let's go to the state that's bringing me the most leads right now. Florida, USA. Woohoo! Go Florida. Is bringing me 9 leads. And as you can see, the leads are costing me $9.95 each. So what I want to do in this section over here is I want to find the states that are just eating up my money and not bringing me any leads. And what I want to do is I want to turn those off and I want to make sure that Florida gets even more money, because that way I get even more conversions and that way I make even more money. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to organize this by cost over here. And now I can see that $89 was spent, I got 9 leads. $84 was spent, I got 6 leads. $56 was spent. All of this is good. This is good, this is good, this is good. Now we get to the stage over here. Arizona. Arizona, come on, man. What are you doing, Arizona? Arizona, if there's anyone, I don't know if I should say this. If there's anyone in Arizona and you have a problem with me, please tell me what your problem is with me so I can fix it. If you have a problem with the content I make, let me know. If you have a problem with my Google Ads, let me know. But tell me so I can fix it so we can start getting some sales. But for right now, we're going to remove Arizona. So I'll show you how this is done. So there are 2 ways that you can do this. The first way is to go over to Arizona. Where are you? There you are. Arizona cost me $12. They've had 13 clicks. No one has bought from me. No one has submitted a lead. So the first way that you can do this is you can simply go over here and you can say edit and you can remove, right? Which means if I click on remove, I want you to see what happens. If I click on remove, what it's going to do is it's not going to show ads in that state again. And why this is important is because I'll know more of my money is being spent in the other states. So this is very important. So as you can see now, I've clicked on remove. Just give me a second. Let me just see. I think it's removed. I hope it's removed. Let's just try that again one more time. Google Ads, okay, I'm going to say exclude. Google Ads sometimes just has a glitch where it does this sometimes where you tell it to do something. There we go. Location excluded. You'll see in this column over here that it's excluded that location. So in other words, now more of my money can go into the states that are actually producing leads for me. The second thing that I want to do over here is, or the second way that you can do it is, I can go to Arizona again. I can include Arizona because I might, who knows, I might get a customer from Arizona, I don't know, maybe next year, right? So I'm going to just show you with another one. Let's take this guy over here. $8 it cost me. Oklahoma. I'm going to go over to Oklahoma. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to type in here, set bid adjustments. And what you can do is you can say that you want to decrease the amount that you're willing to pay for clicks in Oklahoma. Because as you can see, Oklahoma, I'm making no money. I'm getting no leads. Nobody's buying my course from Oklahoma. So what I can do is I can say I want to pay 50% less for the click when the click comes from Oklahoma. And what that means is I'm effectively still saving my money because I am underpaying what I should be paying for the clicks. So I'm willing to pay good money in these states because these states are bringing me conversions, but in Oklahoma, I want to pay less. That is another way that you can do it as well. All right. So I've already showed you two ways that you can optimize campaigns. And what I want to do is, while I drink my water, I want to ask, does anybody have any questions based on what I've shown you? Do you have any questions in general about Google Ads? I'm going to cover two more things that you can check. But what I want to know from you guys is, are you following with me? Is this tracking? Somebody on LinkedIn says, the master is speaking. Listen up, y'all. Appreciate that. MCX says, bid adjustments for the win. Of course, we only touch them with enough clicks. Yes, of course. Thank you, MCX. MCX also says it's a course for Google Ads. Okay, this is the explanation of what Google Digital Garage is. It's a course for Google Ads and other stuff from somebody else, as far as I can see. Okay, Digital Garage. Okay, so it's a popular Google Ads course. Don't know if I should keep that. Okay, cool. Disturbed. Okay. AdSense needs to verify your phone number. Yeah. This is not about AdSense. This is about Google Ads. We're the guys who run the ads. So I'm afraid you're gonna have to talk to AdSense support about that. But basically, I think that's an AdSense error. If you're looking to get paid or you're looking to get monetized on YouTube, then this is definitely not that stream for you. This is more to do with Google Ads and actually paying money to run ads, not getting money from showing ads. So I hope that helps, my friend. Also, if you want to clarify your question, if you don't think I've got it, you're more than welcome to ask that as well. All right. Any more questions? Okay, cool. So my friend over there says, thanks. Yep, definitely. All right. Guys, you guys are quiet in the chat today. You can ask. I mean, don't be shy. I might look intimidating, but yeah. All right, cool. Digital Garage, it's a Google's course, far away from the goodness of yours. No one tells you that. The one that tells you to use broad mesh and observation. Ah, okay, cool. And Keenan over here. Hey, my cousin Keenan sent me 21 Rand. Oh, we appreciate you, Keenan. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you so much for that. You made my day with that. You made my day. Now I can buy Maria some nice coffee with that money. That's cool. Thank you, Keenan. Appreciate that. All right. So MCX says, after optimization, I would love to hear your thoughts on the best way campaign to build brand aware. What the best campaign to build brand awareness? I tell you what, I'll actually answer this question right here before I get lost in the sea of other questions. The best way to build brand awareness is by making content. It's not by running ads. The problem with advertising is, by its nature, whenever you have an ad, you're kind of trying to sell something to someone. But when you have content, you're not selling anything. A lot of people that have bought my course, let me know down below in the chat. A lot of people that have bought my course because they watched their content. So they were aware of my brand, and that's kind of what made them buy it. But I don't think there's a good way to build brand awareness with advertising, because just because Samsung tells me they're a good brand, it doesn't really resonate. A lot of people are actually getting turned off with that type of marketing. What you want to do is you want to have a small amount of content. It doesn't have to be the most amount of content. Like if you have a YouTube channel with 20 videos on there, that's a better way of building your brand than just advertising to people. And it's one of those things whereby, yes, you can get an ad, you put it on target impression share, you can reach 600,000 people and they are aware of you. You can do that. It's an okay strategy. But technically speaking, what I've seen is having that content is still better. So, for example, I've got one ad campaign that just runs to people who have viewed my YouTube channel. And that ad campaign does extremely well because those people already know me. They already see me on these live streams. They already see me answering questions. So when I'm trying to sell to them, I don't look like some guy who's trying to build his brand awareness. They already know me. So I would say the best way, what you want to put your money in, if you want to build brand awareness, do it with YouTube. Do it with YouTube, maybe LinkedIn, maybe Twitter. But don't think that spending money on advertising is going to help you boost your brand. It's something a lot of marketing agencies say. I haven't seen it. I've been doing this for 7 years and I haven't really seen somebody build the strong brand off the back of just running advertising. There has to be some content component to it. So that's going to be my answer there. All right. So Light Worker Part says, do you have a course on setting up conversion tracking properly? No, I don't. I do not. I know there is a pretty good one from, what's this guy's name? Is it Measure Geeks? I know he's got a very good course on conversion tracking. To be honest with you, I hate conversion tracking probably as much as you do. So I kind of outsource it to devs. I know how to check if it's working and I know how to set up a pretty simple one. But that guy at Measure Geeks, I think it's Measure Geeks, that's a very good one. Another one is Julian over at, what's it called? You'll know Julian. He's always doing the Google Tag Manager videos and stuff as well. Struggling to come up with the name, but they've got very good conversion tracking courses, and that's basically where you want to be. If you join my course, this is what you want to learn. You want to learn how to take a campaign from losing money to making money. That's what my course is for. If you have a client and the leads are just way too expensive and you don't know what to do, that's why you take my course. I do not have a course on conversion tracking, and I run away from conversion tracking as often as possible. I can show you how to see if it's working properly. If you'd like me to show you that, I can show you this on the screen share. But when it comes to conversion tracking, learn from the pros, learn from the devs, learn from the guys who specialize in code. That would be a better way. All right, cool. So Light Worker Part says conversion tracking makes me crazy. Yeah, I hate it. I hate it. I wish I could swear on this live stream, but I can't. But I absolutely hate it. All right. So one of our LinkedIn users says, what question do you have about conversion tracking? We might be able to solve it. I think where Light Worker Path is coming from, and correct me if I'm wrong, Light Worker Path, is she's running ads for people and she wants to learn how to do it properly because the people who are setting up her ads are always messing it up and she always has to spend a ton of time, or sorry, it might even be a he. They're always spending a ton of time in the conversion tracking and trying to make sure that's right instead of actually running the ads, which they get paid to do. So I think that's why Light Worker Path wants to run it themselves. All right. And MCX says Julius is Analytics Mania. Yeah, that's the one. Analytics Mania. that's who you want to follow. And I think they've got a very good course. There's actually a lot of good conversion tracking courses out there. So yeah, I'm not going to recommend my course if my course can't help you, but that's definitely what you want to do if you want to go that way. All right, cool. So I've answered all of our questions, most of the questions. If there's any other questions, you can ask it down below. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to get back to the screen share. All right, so we have got this campaign in front of us. And as you can see over here, we've got our cost, we've got our clicks, and we've got our cost per conversion. So the question is, how do we get our leads even cheaper than we're getting them now? How do we do that? All right, so the first thing that I showed you guys how to do was search terms. The second thing that I showed you guys to do was to go to your locations report to find the locations that weren't basically making you money and to cut those out. The next thing I'm going to show you how to do is work with manual CPC bidding. Now, this is a little bit of a more advanced strategy, but I think this is really going to help a lot of people, and that's why I want to show you the guys this. So if I click on search keywords over here, you'll notice that I have all of these keywords over here and I've got all of this data over here. Now, these are the keywords that I am choosing for my Google Ads campaign. And you'll notice over here that I get to choose how much I'm paying, but I get to do it on a keyword-based level, right? So how does all of this work? Every single time somebody clicks on your ads, it costs you money. With manual CPC bidding, you get to decide how much you are willing to pay for that click, right? And eventually what that's going to do is it's going to drop down your cost per, let me see if I can find it over here, cost per conversion. There we go. It's going to drop down your cost per conversion. So what a lot of you guys are doing is you're overpaying for clicks. So for example, I'll show you a perfect example over here. If I scroll over here, Google wants me to pay, they want me to pay $3.10 to get a click on this keyword, right? They want me to pay $3.10. I've told Google that I'm only willing to pay up to $1 per click. However, by paying $1 per click, as you can see, my average cost per click over here is 91 cents, which then means the leads that I'm getting leads for $6 each. Now, if you go and you boost this, right? Let's say I follow Google's recommendation and I say, okay, I want to, and by the way, this keyword by itself is converting at, let me see the conversion rate. Conversion rate. There we go. 14% conversion rate. To give you an idea, the average conversion rate on the Google ad is about 3 to 4%. I'm converting at 5 times higher than the average, right? They want me to pay $3.10. Now, let's do some maths over here. If Google wants me to pay $3.10 and each and every single one of my clicks is going to cost $3.10, I would have had to pay, this is how much extra it would have cost me to run the exact same keyword. I would have had to pay, how many clicks did I get in total? Eyes, please don't fail me now. Okay, interactions, 176 clicks. I would have paid Google Ads. I only paid them $160. I don't know if you guys can see the calculator. Let me just do that. I would have had to pay them $545 to get the same result. $545 to get the same amount of clicks if I was paying $3 per click. So yes, Google is not being truthful with you. They are not being honest with you. They are not being transparent with you. They are not telling you exactly what your clicks should be costing. And this is why I say go with manual CPC. Also, LinkedIn user, please tell me what your name is. I don't know. My StreamYard is pretty weird, but I feel very weird calling you LinkedIn user. So just let me know in the chat what your real name is. Anyway, so this is what I mean when I say you guys are overpaying for clicks. I say this in almost all my YouTube videos. I say you guys are paying too much. You guys are paying too much. This is what I mean, because if you're paying that much, your leads are going to be more expensive. And if you have expensive leads, you're going to be out of business. Does Google care? No. because they still made the money off of you. They still made the money off of you. And that's why I recommend manual CPC. Now, if you want to know how you can switch to manual CPC, manual CPC will basically allow you to say you want to pay 50 cents per click. So you can limit how much you pay for each and every single click, which will in turn save you money, which will in turn result in cheaper leads. So how do I switch to manual CPC if I've never done it before? All you need to do is go over to the section over here, click on more details, click on edit in settings. By the way, there's a full video on manual CPC on the channel. You can just search manual CPC, how to switch to manual CPC. You'll see I'll come up on the top search results. All right, so I've got bidding over here. If you click on bidding over here, change bid strategy, I want their guidance. This is what you guys are used to seeing, right? You're used to seeing conversions, conversion value, click, and impression share. Am I right? Tell me I'm right in the chat below. How do you switch to manual CPC then if it's not there? All you have to do is you can, let me see, there is something over here that says go back to bidding strategies. But I think some of you, it might say something different. I think it might say something like choose your bidding strategy, not recommended. Okay. So when I do this, notice over here, all of a sudden manual CPC is here. Then you select manual CPC. And then if you're very brave, you can deselect that. And notice Google is warning you, hey, setting your bids lower might result in lower performance. Guys, I just showed you it would have cost me $545 instead of $160. So you can decide who you trust. I've got the numbers to back up what I'm saying. And I'm going to say save over here. And just by doing that, when you go back to your keywords, let me go to my keywords. You'll notice next to every single keyword, there's a little column that says max CPC with a little pencil, and you can adjust it. So that's how you switch to manual CPC. You can thank me later and send me a super chat with the money that you saved by switching to manual CPC. Send it on the next live stream, or you can even send it here. I just saved all of you at least 20% of your advertising budget. All right. So that being said, you want to switch to manual CPC because that's another way of optimizing your campaign. Now, MCX over here says, manual CPC, we love you. That's super cool. And LinkedIn user, who still hasn't given me their name, says, which keyword match types do you recommend using with manual CPC? How much lower than my current average CPC should I set my max CPC? These are good questions, guys. This is a dope set of questions. Whoever you are, thank you very much for asking that question. All right. So my general rule of thumb when it comes to keyword match types is a lot of people recommend exact, a lot of people recommend phrase, a lot of people recommend broad, but you need to actually test and see what works for you. I always go with broad. Broad always works for me, but I'm in a specialized niche. Some other person like a plumber or somebody who sells electrical equipment, they could go broad and it could go like crazy. It could go absolutely crazy. Oh, it's Pam. Hey, Pam, how are you doing? Anyway, so what I typically do is I measure them against one another. I literally do. I go and I put 3 ad groups and I make one broad, I make one exact, and I just look at the results. I think I have one over here. Let me just check. Man. Let's see. Oh yeah, I switched off my match types today. But anyway, I think now we don't have any historical data. But usually what I do is I do an exact, I do a phrase, and I do a broad, and I see which one converts highest. Typically speaking, I'm always, if you ask me, I'm always going to go broad. I'm always going to go broad. I know there's a lot of Google Ads experts that might disagree with that, but I'm always going to go broad because I know broad is going to give me the cheapest clicks. I just got off a call now with a student who was using phrase and Google was trying to charge him $5, $7 per click for a music school, which is just not going to be sustainable in the long run. So what I typically try and do is I typically try and go broad, and then I control how much I pay with manual CPC. What I also like to do, I'm giving away all my secrets over here, is I'm a very cheap person. How do I say this? How do I say this in a loving way? I'm a frugal person. So what I usually do is I make sure I underpay when I go broad match. A lot of people are going broad match, but they would pay exactly the same as if they were phrase or exact match. I am super cheap, y'all. I am like the cheapest of the cheap. So what I usually do is, let's say, for example, the keyword is costing me $3 on phrase. I would drop it down to broad, but I'd pay $1.50 and I'd see if I still get clicks. Now, I love the second part of this question that Pamela asked is how much lower than my average CPC should I set my bid limit? There's no right way to answer this, but the best way that I can give you is, are you converting? If you're converting, you should actually go above your average CPC. You should go above your average CPC because that's a good keyword. However, if you see that you've ran a keyword, let's look at an example. I think we have an example over here. Great questions, by the way, Pamela. I need to thank you for that. I feel like I should be sending you the super chat. For those of you who don't know, that's Pamela Wagner. We have a podcast together. It's linked down in the description. You'll see it like there's a Spotify podcast. Pamela's awesome, y'all. She's optimized over 3,000 ad accounts. So let's look at this dude over here. Okay, I like this dude over here. So I've got Google Ads training course over here. 16 conversions. My cost per conversion is $11. It's converting at 9.52%, and my average cost is about $1.14. Now, it's going to get mixed up because I've been running this campaign for 2 years. But let's just use this as a hypothetical. If I know that these clicks are converting for me, and if I know I've got a super high conversion rate, and if I don't mind spending a little bit more per lead, right? I'm going to just go here and I'm just going to go and I'm going to change this. I'm at 114. I might even up this to 150. Why? I'm happy to spend that money if I'm going to get more leads, and I'm happy with my cost per lead. If my cost per lead is below $25, I can live off that. Some business owners can't. I'm more than happy with that. My average order value is about $496. So I'm well within my advertising budget if I boost this up. Now, if I have an ad that's not converting, then I'm just going to do the opposite, right? We just boosted this one up. If I have an ad that's not converting, I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to look at the average CPC and I'm going to lower it by about, and this is probably going to your question, Pam, by about 25%. If I'm really in a bad mood, I'm going to go 40%, but usually I'm going to drop that by 25%. Right. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. All right. So next question over here. How do you feel about top of first page bidding? All right. Light worker path. What I want you to do is give me a little bit more nuance. Are you talking about the red columns that appear on the side, the warnings? Or are you talking about just bidding so that you can get to the top of the page just with any bidding strategy in any which way you can? Just let me know, because I don't want to spend the next 25 hours of answering a question that could take like 2 minutes. So let me know. All right. Any more questions, people? Keep them coming, keep them coming, keep them coming. And MCX says, Manual CPC, we love, you are always right, by the way. I wouldn't say I'm always right. You can ask my girlfriend. I get a lot of things wrong. I think a lot of people villainize Manual CPC in the agency world, and I don't understand why. I don't get it. Chuki! Oh, the prodigal son is back. What's up, Chuki? Hope you're well. Always happy to see you. Dropping down €2. I'm going to buy myself a coffee and I'm going to think of you. Thank you, Chuki. Appreciate you. All right, cool. So let's talk about Manual CPC and why it's villainized. While we wait for light worker path just to write a longer version of the question. So agencies are typically spending $5,000 to $10,000 to $15,000 to $20,000. Agencies do not have the time, the effort, or because they're managing 20 campaigns at the same time. So agencies stay away from manual CPC. And I don't blame them because I'm managing my own account and I've got like $10, $15 to play with. $50 maybe to play with, $100 maybe to play with. If you're a business owner and you're running your own ads, manual CPC is a great idea for you. If you're running ads for other people and those people are on small budgets, manual CPC is a great idea for you. If you're running $20,000 in ad spend, manual CPC is a horrible idea because you're giving yourself a lot more work. The problem with YouTube is we go and we get advice from people who are running $5 million accounts per month. And we think that what they say, we take their advice and we apply it to an account that's spending $5 per day. Do you see how those two things are very far apart? You can't take advice from somebody who's spending $5 million per month on ads, on Google ads, but you're only trying to run a $10 per day ad account. You can see how that's messed up. So what I want you to do is I want you to ask yourself, where are you at? Are you spending less than $5,000? Then yes, manual CPC can work for you. Are you spending between $5,000 and $7,500? Manual CPC could still work. But then as we scale up, you want to switch over to automated bidding strategies because you're not going to be able to keep track of all of those clicks. That's the difference. And manual CPC is harder to scale. You won't make as much money, but I promise you this, manual CPC will probably save you money even if you use a huge account. I've seen big accounts running on manual CPC. And some of the people I know and I admire are still running manual CPC. We need to stop villainizing bidding strategies and keyword match types. And we need to say every single ad account is unique. And we need to apply our focus to those ad accounts that are unique. Does it make sense? Like specific advice for specific ad accounts. All right, that's my rant over. All right, so the first part of Lightworker Parts question was, how do you feel about top of page, first page bidding? The second part of her question was, I show those columns. I show those columns and tend to place bids upon top of page bids, so I make sure the client is on top if they have budget. Okay, good explanation. I love this question. I love this question. Man, I need to start leaning back when I do these live streams, man. I'm hurting my neck over here. Okay, cool. So let's look at this. Let's look at this properly. Google is telling me I should spend $3.10. And they're telling me that if I do that, I will show, well, if I'm not doing that, I'm not showing on the top of the page, right? So you're following me. Google is telling me that I should spend more because if I spend more, I'm going to be at the top of the page. This is where Google is lying to you. What you want to do is you want to go to columns, modify columns. You want to open up all your columns and you want to find IMPR, absolute top percentage, and you want to find IMPR top percentage. So in other words, how many impressions am I getting at the number one spot and how many impressions am I getting in the top 4 spots? Okay. You can also go search impression share, but I'm going to enable these 2 columns because I want to prove something to you over here, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this column over here. I'm going to say modify column, and I'm going to bring this all the way up next to, let's put it right next to my, my warning, because I think this is going to be a very good way to show you what I'm on about. Okay. And also search, top, absolute, all of those metrics over there. All of those metrics over there. Search impression share as well. All of the important metrics. What I'm going to do is I'm just dragging this stuff to the main column position because I want to show you something, right? So we've got all of these beautiful stats over here. So if I scroll all the way this way, okay, I'm below the first page bid. If I'm below the first page bid, then how am I getting impressions, and how have I showed up 12% of the time in the absolute top position, right? How am I doing this, right? How am I showing up in these top positions? Because what you're saying to me is you're telling me my ad can't really show there. But also, as you can see here, I'm showing up in the top percentage. And this is where you have to look at the numbers. Don't listen to them, because this is what happens. I'm going to change this to $3.10, right? We can even do it right now. I guarantee you this. Sorry, I'm going to click on that. I'm going to change this to $3.10. Man, why are you doing this weird stuff? Give me a second over here. Let's try it again. $3.10. Please don't hurt me. I'm going to push on save. Now it's telling me it's eligible. Okay. Next week, when we come back and we do a live stream and we look, it's going to tell me to start spending $5. If I change it to $5, it's going to tell me to start spending $6. Let me know in the chat if this has ever happened to you. You followed along with all of this red stuff. You keep on pushing your bids higher, but then you have to push them higher again. So let me tell you why that is happening. Okay. You have to understand that in business, it is important to show up in the top of page search results, right? It's important. Of course, we want to be on top, but also, right? My guess is my budgets, my competitors' bids ran out, so I bumped over. Maybe, could happen. You're not lying. But one thing I want you to know is when you start spending more, guess what? The other guys that you're bidding against, they're on focus on conversion. So guess what? Google Ads gets permission to put up their click costs. And guess what? Now all of a sudden, because they push theirs up, now you have to push yours up. It's an auction. You're paying $10 per click. Your enemy's paying $12 per click. You say you're going to raise it to $13 per click. All of a sudden, they're on automated bidding. So then Google raises that up to $15 per click, and no one wins. You know why? Because only the auction house is getting richer. Google is the only place getting richer. What would be smarter is to go and say, hey, instead of seeing how much I can pay for clicks so I can outbid my competitors, what if I can show up in the top 4 search results? And what if I can make sure that when I show up in the top 4 search results, I have the highest click-through rate? And what if I pay the minimum amount possible for the lead? If you do that, you get super cheap conversion rates. So for example, cost per conversion over here. These are leads, by the way. $26, oh sorry, $6 for a lead, $6 for a lead, $11 for a lead, $6 for a lead, $7 for a lead, $12 for a lead, $6 for a lead. So I'm just getting cheap leads. I don't care about being top. I don't care about Google's recommendation. What I care about is, can I get the leads and can I get them cheaply? Now, if we look at our location, some of you might be saying, yeah, but that's from India. That's from, check it out, dude. I got 62 leads from the US of A, and they only cost me $10 each. You can do this with manual CPC bidding if you don't play by Google's rules. If you play by Google's rules, you're going to get burnt, because the only one who gets richer when you play by Google's rules is Google. Tell me if I'm wrong. Comment section, tell me if I'm wrong. But that's the problem with listening to Google's suggestion. They're just going to push you up. They're just going to push your bids up. I've been doing this for 7 years. I've never had a recommendation to drop my bid down. Have you noticed that? Google never tells you you're overpaying for clicks. You never get a recommendation that says, hey, you paid $5 for this click when you could have paid $2 for this click. You should drop your bids. Has it ever happened? I've never seen that. Google's only job is to get you to pay as much as possible per click. That's their only job. You do that, their revenue goes up. Their revenue goes up, more people buy shares in Google, its value goes up, and then they get to do this again and again and again and again until they become the third richest company on earth, and they're gunning for the first position. And also, if you think about it, if you have a set number of advertisers, the best way to get the most money out of those advertisers is not to go sign up new clients and make them happy. It's actually just to charge the existing clients that you have more. If you look, there's a beautiful article. I don't know if it's search engine land, but basically they've discovered that your cost per lead on Google Ads has increased by 15% year on year. This is why everything gets more and more expensive in Google Ads. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. So MCX says manual CPC in agencies. Okay, we passed that already. So MCX says a proper landing page with a great offer wins every campaign optimization or bidding strategy. That is very true. I want to show you guys an example of this. This is extremely true. This is what I teach in my Google Ads course. This is what I firmly believe in. Instead of wasting your time with bidding strategies and keyword match types, this is where you should be wasting your time with. I'll show you an example. Two of my consulting clients over here, right? So I had one client from South Africa. All we did was we designed the landing page. Her ads were the same. Steph, if you're listening to this, hi. She went from producing 11 leads. You can see 11 leads in 23 days. Sorry, in 30 days, 11 leads. She went to producing 102 leads in 23 days. We just changed one thing, the landing page, right? That's a massive, massive performance leap. Landing page. Budget, still the same. This guy over here, Samuel, same exact thing. He had 16 leads in 90 days. We changed the landing page. That's all we did, was just change the landing page. He went to a 29% conversion rate and 354 leads. And as you can see here, it says $30 a day, $30 a day. I think this is a bit of a lie. I think he was on $17 per day or something like that. And now he's on $30 per day. This is just because I took the screenshot at the same time. But still, as you can see over here, even if we take into account the increase in budget, the guy upped his conversion rate by 29% just by changing his just by changing his landing page. And that's what a lot of you guys are missing. You're so focused on your Google Ads that you're forgetting that your traffic has to go somewhere, and that's the page. If you optimize your page, you're going to get better results. That's basically it. So MCX says top of page, but it's a lie. And thank you very much. It's just, oh, it makes me so angry. And MCX also says it's the max that somebody paid in the last amount of days. Don't remember the amount of days right now. Yep. And also the last 4 years you had this percentage. How is in the last 4 years you had this percentage? How is the last 3 months? Okay, I'll check the last 3 months, but I think it's much lower because we actually paused that campaign. We restarted that campaign like this month. So let's do this. I'm going to share my screen again. We're getting pretty technical, so I hope I'm not losing anyone. By the way, if you're new here, my name is Devon Thomas. I've been running Google Ads for the last 7 years. You can ask me as many questions as you want. Just let me know what country you're from. I haven't gotten to the bottom of the chat, but I hope that this has been very helpful for all of you. So as you can see over here, 1st of August to 8th of August. Let's do this. Go the last 8 days. I'm going to say apply. Yeah, these are my stats for the last 8 days. But now, hold on. Okay, so these are exact match. Now, all of a sudden, my amounts are up now. Now it's telling me $5.69. But yeah, it's too early. As you can see over here, I got nothing happening over here. So it's way too early. Let's check out my cost over here. There we go. There we go. Okay, so Google is telling me I need to pay $2.57. Okay, now we're looking at fresh data. This is 1st of August to 8th of August. Google's telling me to pay this much. I'm saying, okay, fine. I'm not really paying that amount. And yet, with this dude over here, top impression share, top 4 search results, I'm showing up 82% of the time in the top 4 search results. 88% of the time. This is the stuff I'm talking about. So you gotta be very, very careful with this stuff. All right. I don't want to dampen anybody else's mood. But yeah. All right. So Chuki. Chuki says, Devon, I'm thinking about, oh, by the way, light worker path. I hope that that answered your question. If you want to ask any follow up questions, bidding strategies, that type of thing, I think I'm going to hang out for, I don't know how long I'm going to hang out for today. My girlfriend says I need to stop giving out times that I'm going to hang out for. So, what I'm going to say is the live stream will be over when it's over. All right. So, Chuki, my favorite person. Okay. My favorite person, man. Okay, Devon, I'm thinking about setting up a $1 per day brand campaign. Should I just go for search, impression, share? Or should I put my business name as exact match keywords? Or would you do it differently? $1 per day branded campaign. This is going to be the simplest answer for you ever. Um, let's start from the beginning, Chuki. Tell me why you think that you wanna do a branded campaign, and I think you should just go for phrase match. Phrase match should be perfectly fine if you want to do this, and just running your name, your own name. But yeah, also let me know, like, are you finding that a lot of people are showing up on your above you in the search results when you type in your own name? If they are, then okay, go for it. Do the $1 per day. But if you Google yourself and it's just you showing up, you don't have to defend yourself because there's no one to defend yourself from. So what I would do is Google yourself from your PC, Google it from incognito mode. What I would also do is Google yourself from your friend or your partner's PC as well, and see if anything shows up. If you start getting a lot of competitors bidding on your name, which I don't think is happening, but you can correct me if it's wrong, then definitely do phrase match, do $1 per day. You're perfectly fine. You're not going to hurt yourself doing it that way. But just let me know. Anyone, if you have a different strategy, let me know also down in the chat. I know there's a lot of people in LinkedIn listening. So yeah. And also Chuki says, I'm running some Facebook ads, so I just want something complimentary. So when people search for it on Google, I show up. If you're doing that, Chuki, what I recommend you do is maybe a retargeting campaign with PMAX. That's maybe the answer that you're looking for. So this is how that would work. Somebody sees your Facebook ad, they click on it, they go to your website. They're not ready to buy yet, they're still thinking about it. If you do a PMAX ad, Performance Max ad, and you put it on a $1 per day budget, and you set it to show to just existing users, don't set it to go after new users. That's a waste of money. Just existing users. What's going to happen is somebody's going to click on your Facebook ad. They're going to go through to your landing page. Once they land on your landing page, what they're going to do is they're going to leave, and then they start seeing the Performance Max all over. They start seeing it in their Gmail inbox. They start seeing it as a banner ad on YouTube. They start seeing it everywhere. And I think that is going to do a better job of bringing you good clients in, right? That's what I think you should do. If you're running Facebook ads and you want to complement it with a PMAX, because a PMAX already is going to do branded search. It's already going to do retargeting. It's kind of all in one. $1 per day is more than enough. $2 per day, you're pushing it, but you can also do it as well. But just don't give PMAX $10 per day or $20 per day, because then it will start burning through your budget. All right. All right. So Light Worker Path said, thank you. It's my absolute pleasure. And hey, Light Worker Path, the one thing I want you to get is you're not wrong by wanting to get your ad to the top search results. You're not wrong by wanting to pay more to get your ads there. You just have to do it in a logical way. I think a lot of people run Google Ads. They see Google Ads is telling them put the number in, so they put the number in, and then at the end of the month they have an argument with their client because they have expensive leads or not much is happening. So you have to always think about, is this what's best for Google or is this what's best for my client? And I think that's where a lot of people get stuck. So what I try to do is I'm okay with pushing bids up. I'll do it, but I need evidence that this keyword is working. If you want me to pay $10 per click, I'll do it, but show me that the click is getting a conversion. Show me that if I get 7 or 18 clicks, I get a conversion. If I'm not getting any leads, if I'm not getting any results, business results from that, there's no point in increasing the bids. You're just going after vanity metrics so that you can tell your customer that you were on the top of the page. What does it matter if you're not getting the client? The key with marketing is to get the client, or to get awareness, or to get the call, or to get the booking. All right, so Chuki says, interesting, great advice. Oh, it's my absolute pleasure, Chuki. All right, and let's see, we got MCX over here. So still great positioning with the same keyword. Yep, definitely, definitely. Great positioning, same keyword, still on a low bid, still good. All right, cool. So I think I covered, what did I cover? I covered the search terms report. I covered the locations report. We did a deep dive into manual CPC and a little bit of broad match keywords. Is there anything? Oh yeah, I want to show you guys the audiences report. But what I want to do is I want to do it with my YouTube ads, because I think we've got a lot more data that we can play with over there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen over here, and let's look at the stats first and foremost. Okay. So as you can see, my search ad campaign, 0 conversions. But if I go to my YouTube campaign, I can see that this YouTube campaign, even though it was on a $1 per day budget, I've gotten a lead, and I got it with a $1 per day budget. If I go to this one, this is my South African campaign, you can see that I've gotten with a $2 per day budget. I've got 10 clicks and I've got 11 conversions. So as you can see, my YouTube ads, I'm getting a lot of good traffic coming through. So the question is, hold on, I think I got one more, custom and remarketing. Which one is this? This one over here is on $5 per day. I'm targeting Western countries with this. And as you can see, I spent $33. I'm on $5 per day, and I've already got 3 conversions, right? So I've got my conversions over here. My cost per conversion is about $11. If you're wondering what a conversion is, that's basically just a lead. It's a sign up on one of my workshops, and eventually the client gets asked to book a call. So far, I think we've had 2 booked calls, which I don't think is too bad. So if we look at our overall performance over here, $67 for 15 email signups, 2 booked calls. That means each booked call is about $33 each. Not a problem whatsoever. And I think one gentleman who I spoke to today is very keen on our course as well. So yeah, I'm happy with how the advertising is going so far. But one thing that I want to look at, and I hope I show you guys the right campaign over here, is I want to take a look at my YouTube campaigns. So I think what the best way to do this is, let's just look at all of them at the same time. I'm going to go to video over here, and I want to show you how to optimize a campaign that is maybe not doing so well, but it's display based. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to audiences over here, right? SEO should also help with your brand showing up on first page, Chuki. Thank you very much for that light worker path. I appreciate it. Now notice over here, it shows me audience performance. I got all of this nonsense happening over here, but I can't go through data this way. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to break up the data, and I want to see what's performing well, what's not performing well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stretch this out, and I'm just going to see if I can squeeze this in, and it should maybe show me something reasonable that we can look at. Now you'll notice my YouTube channel remarketing is doing well for me. By the way, you might say this is a low conversion rate. This is a good conversion rate for YouTube ads. YouTube ads, they usually don't convert better than 1% unless you really know what you're doing. In fact, if you get higher than 0.20, I'd say that you're doing pretty well. And as you can see, none of these other audiences over here are converting. So let's take a deeper dive. What I want to do is I want to look at ages over here. And I want to basically look at it on the table view over here. And once I do that, you can see if I scroll this way and I click on conversions, I can see that the people who are converting on my ads are usually 45 to 55 years old. You see that? Or 55 to 64 years old, a couple are converting. What's not converting for me is 18 to 24-year-olds. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go back and look at some historical data because it might give me a different answer than what I'm looking at right now. By the way, guys, do you see how many times I'm going and I'm looking at the date range? This is important when you're optimizing your ads. You have to look at the date range so that you can understand, are the people who are looking at my ads looking at them properly, and also you want to have enough time so that you make the right decision. So over here I can see that most people are actually converting. I don't think it's that bad. The age groups that aren't converting for me again are the 18 to 24-year olds. So one thing you can do if you're running YouTube ads is you can click over here and you can exclude that ad group. Another tip that I'm going to give you guys is not too many of you are using custom intent audiences. So I'm going to go to edit audience over here. I'm going to click on YouTube custom just so that I can get a audience up, and you're going to get this menu. Now, a lot of you guys are using just your normal audiences, like you're targeting, for example, truck and SUV. I don't know why I put this in, probably another live stream. But as you can see, I got truck, SUV, enthusiasts, blah, 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 so on and so forth. What I really want to show you guys, the coolest type of targeting you can do is called custom intent, right? So just like you use your search ads to go after people, you can do the same thing with YouTube ads. All you need to do is come here. I'm just going to go custom intent. And if I search for Google Ads course, check this out. How cool is this? Google Ads course. I can basically use this as a search term. I can use all of this stuff as a search term. I'm just clicking on random stuff over here, but just to give you an idea. And what this is going to do is you can get leads, but you're going to get leads off of YouTube from just people who searched Google already and didn't find what they want. Your ads will show to them, and then you'll get the leads. This is how we get the vast majority of our leads with YouTube ads, by using custom intent audiences and using them with keywords. So I'm not doing the generic audience targeting, although you can. I'm targeting via search phrase. So if they're searching YouTube, if they're searching Google, by the way, YouTube is the second biggest search engine on earth. Google is the first, YouTube is the second, and both of them are owned by Google. So use both. And also what I can do is I can say that if somebody visits my competition's website, I can also say that somebody's visiting my competition's website. So therefore, I'm going to target those people because I know they're interested in ads. So for example, I can say if somebody visits Udemy, they're probably interested in buying a course. So show them my ad as well. If somebody visits Skillshare, I can say I want to show them my ad as well. And also what you can do is you can target people that use certain apps. So if you're a fitness or personal trainer, you can make sure that you target those people as well. And basically what you can do to optimize your campaign is go through all of these audiences, find out which audiences are converting, which audiences aren't converting, and then you want to apply the same technique where you switch off the audiences that aren't converting, or you just remove them. All right. So I've done a lot of talking, people. I hope that this was useful to you. Chimembe over here says, is the session being recorded and will it be available to watch later on? Chimembe, thank you very much for that. So if you're on YouTube, just search for Neptune Design. You will find the full recording of this live stream. I'm wrapping this up. It's also on LinkedIn, but I'm not sure how LinkedIn handles that. But if you just type in Neptune Design, go to my channel and go to live streams, you can find it over there. In fact, I've got a playlist. I'll show you guys. I've got a whole playlist with all of my live streams. So if we go to view your channel, you'll notice over here, if you just come over here to playlist, you'll see there's a playlist over here, live streams, where are they? I think it's this one over here. This is all my live streams. Also, if you come over here, you'll notice that if you type in live, you get every single live stream that I've ever done in my life on YouTube. So that's how you find the recording. All right. So guys, I hope all of this has been helpful to you. I'm gonna open it up for questions for the next 5 minutes. I'm kind of tired. So if anybody wants to ask me anything, you got 5 minutes. Then I'm gonna close it out. Um, and MCX says, hint, it actually accepts a specific page inside Udemy, say the page with all Google Ads courses specifically. Yeah, you can also do that as well. So I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you so much for everybody who came. Thank you so much for everybody who enjoyed the live stream. Also, if you're wondering how you can get a hold of me, or you want to hire me or you want to work with me, the best place to start is my Google Ads course. It's called Profitable PPC. What we basically do, I might as well do a share screen on this. What we basically do is, I think this one is the best one. What we basically do is I teach you how to get your ads profitable in less than 30 days without a huge ads budget. So if you want to buy one course and you want that course to work for you, definitely check out Profitable PPC. Also, you can scroll to the bottom over here because I know a lot of you guys like to see proof that a course works. And you can see not only my student results, but you can also hear what my students have to say as well. They talk about the results that they get. All right, so that's one way that you can work with me. Another way you can work with me is, guys, if you have $10, all you need to do is spend $10 and you can get my Google Ads setup cheat sheet. It's $10 and you can literally copy all of my ad settings that I use to generate leads. $10, right? $9.99. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to link that sheet down below. And that's a very cheap and easy way of working with me and basically dipping your toe in the water. I mean, it's $10, right? It's more than you're probably going to lose on your Google Ads today. And also, last but not least, special shout out to our sponsors. So Profitable PPC would be my Google Ads course, and also Lead Pages. If you're interested in really getting a good landing page, as I mentioned before, as you've seen on this live stream, landing pages are really vital to get a good conversion rate. If you don't have a good landing page, you are going to feel so stuck because you're working all the time on your ads, but the website is kind of letting you down. So make sure you use a landing page. Use Lead Pages. They're linked down below. They're one of our affiliates. They've got hundreds of templates that you can choose from, and you can just swap out your data. So you don't have to be a web designer or web developer. You can just use Lead Pages and they can get you where you need to go. Thank you so much. Wow, Karen says, thank you so much for the good information for a newbie. It's my absolute pleasure, Karen. Thank you so much for joining us. MCX, as always, thank you so much for joining us. And also, last but not least, check out my Google Ads community. In my Google Ads community, I look at your ads and I give you feedback. Just like I did here, I look at your ads and I give you feedback. So it's linked in the description below. I don't think I need to link it here. You know what? Let me just get it done with. Oh, there are so many things that I'm excited to show you. But anyway, the feedback circle is where you want to be. We're also going to have a special guest coach this week. It's going to be pretty cool. Every week, we just sit down and we look at your ads and we tell you where you're going wrong. So, and where you're going right, of course. So if you really want in-depth Google Ads coaching, this would be a good place to start. All right. So all of that is there. Keenan also says, thanks. I enjoyed this live stream. Oh, thank you all. You all are being so sweet today. I'm getting super chats and everything. I feel special. Thank you, guys. Love you all. I'll see you on the next one. Is there anything I missed out on? Yeah. If you guys have any idea for what the next live stream should be, I want you to put questions in the comment section. Not in the chat. Put it in the comment section. Tell me what you want me to discuss in the next one. I can come with data, I can come with screen shares, but I'm kind of running out of things to talk about. So I want you guys to tell me what you want me to dive into. Do you want e-commerce sales? Do you want lead generation? Do you want affiliate marketing? Let me know in the comment section if you're on YouTube, and if you're on LinkedIn, also just comment below the video. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you guys. Love you all. I'll see you on the next live stream. Peace.